Hello everyone, so today we're going to be talking about some of my figure collecting opinions. Some of these I might get some really bad hate for. I do have to say, admittedly, a while ago when I first started collecting, I really did not like any acrylics, and especially any of these ones that are done as the gaff art style. I just hated them. I thought they looked like something that came out of Artist Alley, and I just, not to be mean, but just to put it very bluntly and quick, I just don't like Artist Alley merchandise style things because it infringes on all the copyright laws. So anyways, moving past that point though, I just didn't really like it for that look. And then now I've started to see kind of the value in some of them, because like there's an entire blind box set I have on the shelf of the Mermaid Melody girls, and like they've done some for like Shuko Chara and some of the Otome series, so I've come to really appreciate that they at least offer those. I also just didn't like acrylic standees in general. Like, I thought they were kind of dumb, because I'm like, why would you buy an acrylic when there's an entire figure of that character? But then I found out that they've actually been making acrylics for people that don't have figures, or just looks of people that I can't get as a figure. So then I started to kind of see that value. Admittedly, there is an awful lot of them in the industry now, but I think they've started to back off a little bit, so there's less of them in a way. But now there's like a gazillion figures coming out like every day now, so it's kind of like win some but lose some kind of situation. Now this is kind of going to be humorous because I just got these, but I really feel like pops do not really have a place in the anime industry. Now the only reason like I have these two is they are two of my favorite Band of 7 members from Inuyasha, which they have no merchandise, or they might be in a few different trading cards, but just like they look okay for some characters, but certain characters look really freaking creepy, like really creepy. And I do have like a Sakura Miku exclusive one from Hot Topic I got like years ago, but that's like it, I think. Oh, and I think there's a Vash I have where he's eating the donut, because it's classic Vash and there's not that much, so like stuff like that I can kind of get. But like having hundreds of pops, like especially the ones that are like convention exclusives and then become a lot of money, like you could almost save yourself money by just getting a Nendroid, which is what inspired pops really, because Nendroids came first. And I hate when people are like, oh, it's the figure that Nendroids are copying. No, it's actually Nendroids came first, then pops. Somebody clearly saw these and went, wow, that's a good idea, let me make one that's cheaper, that doesn't have any parts. Just, I'm getting frustrated with seeing the amount of people that get these darn things signed. Like, they'll have the voice actor sign like the window here, and it's like, okay, they signed the window of a cheap box and now you can't also see the figure inside. Like, I just feel like there's more value if you pick something, like even if it's like a prize figure box, for example, like at least it has this nice big picture and there's other pictures too, so you could have them like signed like right there, but have it as like a nice piece of art, or just on the cover of a book, a page in a book, something else other than a pop. I'm getting tired of pop guys. So done with them. Yeah, anyways, moving on from the pops. My next one, which I know online is definitely quieted in more recent years, but a while ago they used to be cranking out the wedding figures like every 5 seconds, and I have to admit I was loving every single minute of it, because I just absolutely adore the look of wedding figures. As my Rem is sitting up there looking down at me, they're so pretty, and I love how they're done. Usually they're also like different poses and stuff. Actually, like there's Ilya back there. So it's definitely one that I am missing them not putting out so many, and kind of wish they'd put out a few more, even if it's for characters like I don't even collect, because I just like seeing them kind of thing. I also like keeping an eye out admittedly on the pre-owned sections to see if I can scoop up any of them for really cheap, because some of them can get really expensive. But like Rem, I waited for her to go on sale and I only got her for like $60, so I want more of those because I really love that figure, but I didn't have the money to justify spending full price, so it's really nice. And speaking of figures that I know technically is very saturated now, is the lovely bunny figures. This is a prize figure. I love the Buy Cute Bunnies line as it's an affordable way to collect them and have extras, but I've really been enjoying the 1/4 frame bunnies and any of those girls that they've done similar, because now they're doing a few like reverse bunnies and all that stuff, and I know there's a lot of people that are like, I'm sick of this, blah 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 blah, but I just really enjoy. There's a few of them that are pretty static posing, but overall in general I like when they like do the different posings and have different suits and stuff. It's fun, and they're such pretty figures too. I just really enjoy them, but they make so many of them now that I mean, A, my shelves are crying from it, but B, I'm also worried about my bank account now because, like, I think I have, like, 4 more bunnies, maybe 5 on pre-order. I want Freeing to slow down a little bit, though. Like, that's just my one thing. I do like that they have started, messing around with other 1/4s, so, like, right now I actually need to go pay an invoice for it. There's, like, the new 1/4 2B that, just literally came out in Japan. Which is, I believe there's a matching A2 with her, and they're in their classic outfits. There is, of course, the bunny versions too, but I like that they've started to branch back out again in doing those kinds of outfits too, because way back, admittedly, part of the series, the Freeing figure line did start with 1/4's bunny outfits. Haruhi Suzumiya was some of the first bunnies they ever did, and first 1/4 figures in general. But they used to do a few other like 1/4 scale people not in bunny outfits, so it's a nice just kind of going back to the roots touch that I do enjoy. But I also need more shelf spaces to actually collect all those 1/4 figures because they're massive. So the next one is maybe a war sentence, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm like trying to make it sound like I'm better than somebody, but I get really annoyed at the people on the internet that they're like, my $20,000 collection, it's so impressive. And like $20,000 is a lot, like don't get me wrong. But when they show their collection and all they have is like 20 1/4 scale bunnies and maybe a few prize figures, it's really not so impressive anymore, because your brain thinks, oh, it must be like a lot of figures. And then they're just like, no, I just paid the scalper prices, or, well, I don't want to say scalper prices because several of those usually are just legitimately really old at that point, so they get very valuable, but that rubs me the wrong way every single time, and it's also those kinds of people usually get like the quick hit fame kind of too, and like as a community it frustrates me that a lot of people like making those kinds of people that I guess you can't see like their dedication kind of thing, just make them explode, and then they just kind of get all that extra monetization and stuff. And maybe this is just a little bit personal talking here with frustrations of it, but it's frustrating to see that happen, and like people not enjoy, I guess, it the way it's more supposed to be. If you're not supposed to be able to suddenly have a $20,000 collection overnight, it's supposed to be a year-long thing, or years, and yet, yeah, I should say years, plural, and not just it exploding, because that's been a super big trend thing lately, which is people suddenly getting into like the figure collecting, and then they're like, look at all of these figures I just bought this month, and I literally just got into anime, and it's like, whoa, put the brakes on there for a minute, pal. Like, you're moving a little bit quickly. So now I'm just rambling with that, so I'm gonna wrap that one up, but that's just something that definitely gets on my mind sometimes. The other thing that kind of is obnoxious too with the just anime collecting community is also my one last thing that I just have noticed in more recent years that I'm kind of bummed about not seeing so much, which is partially why I started filming myself more aggressively, because I remember like earlier in the 2000s, I'd just be sitting in my bedroom and would have my computer and watch like room tours from these early creators and stuff, and like they'd actually be interested in their hobbies. And back when it used to be more of a norm of everybody kind of like collecting little bits of everything kind of sort of deal, and now we have a lot of like, I don't know if it's like trendy things or what, but now we have a lot of people that only collect like just Miku, for example. And don't get me wrong, I love Miku. Those rooms look really cool and I want to build like my own room kind of thing someday, but there's an awful lot of them that they just have like that one thing, and that's cool, that's fine, but I just miss the variety of people that used to share about, I collect figures, I collect cards, I have this CD collection as well, and here's the keychains I have with posters and the art books and manga, and just, it's not the same. It's just the big, like, it makes me bummed, because I remember that being a really, like, just great time to be an anime fan, and also, like, get inspiration from these other people, and just to kind of enjoy it, like, through their eyes kind of thing. I'm not sure if that makes any freaking sense, to be honest, but some of the personality, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, has, like, just vanished from the collecting, and people are just more collecting because they can collect and fit in with other people, which really is kind of a weird thing to be doing with these kinds of things, but I'm not one to judge, I guess. It's just something I've noticed and am a little bit bummed about, because I do miss kind of those things from back in the day. And also, not everything being aesthetic. Like, don't get me wrong, I like things looking pretty and aesthetic, but like, also just everyone has the two pristine rooms, like they're all IKEA bookcases that everyone only uses, where I'm gonna like use this as an example, where recently I took inspiration from one of those kinds of rooms and took some milk crates and put my K-pop albums in, which suddenly they have their own safe spot and figures can go on top and all that yada yada. But just I miss a lot of that creative I guess use of material from back then, and now we just have everybody copy and paste. They look like the same. There's no personality. There's personality there, but it's not really there. There's not that extra spice or whatever that was there. It's just gone. My last thing is, I don't care what the source material is, just let people, for the love of God, enjoy collecting certain series. I don't care if it's Super Sonico, Nekopara, Son of Saya, any of that kind of stuff that's like that. Yosuga no Sora, I don't care. Just let people enjoy it. If they enjoy the series, just let them chill. Let them enjoy their merchandise. Let them be. If somebody has a figure on their shelf, they don't know what it is, you don't have to go on a holy crusade and like scold them about it. Like, just let them enjoy the figure. Like, I guess that's one of my big things too, is I miss that early 2000s mentality of people not caring, and they just either get the figure because they like it, it's affordable. Like, there's so many aspects of that I miss. And now modern audiences like expect you and to like know every single piece of information about a character, when like also it's not really their like business. Like, you don't need to get in other people's business, and that makes it bumming, I feel, for a lot of people too, and or intimidate a lot of people too, because that makes a lot of people not want to just get into collecting, because they're like, oh well, what if somebody judges me, or I'm at a con and somebody sees me buying like a Nekopara piece of merchandise and I just really like the character designs, or I like the anime, but now I'm getting in an argument about somebody over something. And it's fine if you like the games or whatever. I don't care. Like, I think as a community, it would be much better if people just went back to not caring so much about, like, the source material and being like, oh my god, don't support the creator and blah, blah, blah. Because in reality, like, they're all fictional. They don't exist. Nothing's wrong in the real world with those characters. Like, they're not affecting any of that. I don't know what some of these mangakas and stuff smoke or drink or whatever to come up with some of these plot lines. A few of them are a little bit like, what the fudge? But I don't care. Like, it's fictional. Just let people enjoy their fictional things and just kind of have their little humble abode at home. And just stop trying to discourage others. Like, I have so many words I could probably say, but I don't want to, like, ignite a war, which I probably now ignited, so I guess we'll see what happens in the comments. But anyways, that's it of my 2-bit of just things I've noticed in the anime collecting community and things I either miss or just, it's also just in general some of my controversial opinions, to be brutally honest. So hopefully that was entertaining in some way, and see you next time. Bye!